Morning, everyone. It feels like a nice fall morning. It's like 63 outside, 64 in our house because we don't have our heat on, of course. But it's supposed to warm up to 69 today, which is great. And I'm having my coffee. This is 2 points. Well, hello, Miss Kitty. And it's June 22nd today. It is a Tuesday. For barn kitties, they sure are friendly. The kids did that to them while the grandkids were here. Okay, let's go in and have some breakfast. We're gonna make some breakfast, and I can't tell you guys how excited I am to get a new kitchen. We are gonna be remodeling hopefully soon. We have no like under cabinet light, and it just drives me insane, the shadows I see when I'm trying to film. And we are definitely doing under cabinet lighting. So when I actually film making my breakfast, you guys will be able to see it so much better. So what I'm doing here is just cracking 2 eggs into a bowl, and I just put a little dab of milk in there. I've got my carbon steel pan preheating right now. You want the pan pretty hot. I just stir that up. I'll leave it sit here. I'm gonna grab my water. It's almost 11. I never eat breakfast until late. Corey eats about 6:30, 7 because he has to go down to work. But I never do. I always wait. I'm never hungry that early. So I never eat that early. I have lunch maybe about 1 or 2 o'clock, and then I try to have dinner between 5 and 6 so my belly isn't too full when I go to sleep, because I hate that feeling. I hate a full stomach. I sleep so much better on an empty stomach, even to the point of my stomach growling. I love that feeling when I go to bed. I do use a little dab of grass-fed butter for in here because I love the taste of a little bit of butter. Plus, in order to use these kind of pans, you really have to use a little bit of fat. Otherwise, they may stick to the pan, but if you use a little bit of fat, they're not going to stick. Okay, now I'm going to pour this in. You want to hear that sizzle, and then you'll have a lot less sticking. Some salt and some pepper. I'm just going to leave this sit a little bit. This is my favorite spatula to use. It's just a plastic spatula, but I was kind of like almost upset when I got this in the mail because it was so light feeling and so cheap feeling. But oh my gosh, it's nothing like I imagined it would be. I love it. I use it every day. And it was expensive, and I'm like, what in the world? This is a piece of crap for how expensive it is. But oh my goodness. Okay, this is done now, so I'm gonna go ahead and take this out and just drop it on my plate. And then I didn't want to turn that oven off because I just sliced up some onions because I love onions with my eggs. And of course, cottage cheese. Gotta have cottage cheese on them. Just a little bit of salt. With the salt on there, it'll give off some liquid enough to fry these up. I'm just gonna let these sit a few minutes and then we will sit down to eat. There. My onions are just about done. Okay, got my water. I've got my breakfast here with some onions and some cottage cheese and eggs. I'm gonna count the eggs for 2 since I used some butter in there, and the cottage cheese for 1. And then this just was fried with the leftover stuff from the butter. So the onions are 0. This is, let's see, 3 points again for breakfast. And of course, water. And I'm gonna sit down and enjoy this. I mentioned to you guys, we've got a new washer and a new dryer. I'll talk to you about that later because it's a pretty interesting story. But I love them. And it's a top loader, so I love that too. Even though I do have to stand on a stool to get the things way out from down below, it's worth it. So I'm going to bring you guys along while I do my dishes here. I've got my microphone on, so hopefully Hopefully the cord can stay out of the sink for one. If it doesn't, that's okay because it's just the cord part. Anyway, while we had the grandkids this last entire year, I realized something. I realized that we have way too many dishes because I got to the point where I wouldn't do dishes every night or every day for that matter because it was just so busy around here with the 3 kids. So what I did was, Corey and I have been kind of talking about more minimalism stuff, and we did something kind of drastic. So what we did is take everything we had and just have like 3 things of it. For an example, we kept out 3 forks, 3 spoons, 3 different, like we kept out 3 big spoons and 3 little spoons, but only 3 forks and 3 knives. And each night we are responsible for cleaning our own dishes. Well, that worked out pretty darn good. And we still had the kids here. And of course we kept their 3 bowls out as well. We just have them in storage because of course when you have people over, for company, when you have company over and you invite them to eat, you need more dishes. So I did keep them, of course, and just stored them downstairs. We are really enjoying this. It's a lot less dishes to do. Like I can get done with dishes in just a few minutes now versus before it would take me hours if I had a big sink. I mean, the sink was like plumb full of dishes when the kids were here. And it's like, this is insane. It was so crazy. And instead of just washing them out and using the same dish, I would get them a new dish because it was easier and faster. And it's just, it got kind of frustrating for me to have so many dishes because we don't have a dishwasher. I am the dishwasher. And it really, really, really made a huge difference in me just even wanting to do the dishes in the daytime. So that's what we've got going on. I haven't talked to you guys in like over a year. So big changes, even other changes, budget changes, that kind of thing. And it's just been an amazing difference in our life this past year. Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. In our cupboard here, I have 3 little plates, 3 big plates, and 3 bowls. And of course, 2 of them, because Corey and I ate, are in the sink right now being washed. We do have more cups because you guys know I love my coffee cups. We did get rid of a lot of them though, a lot of them. And then I have my coffee mug holder over there. I've got a lot of mugs that you guys have given me, so I've kept those and we do use them. And they're kind of fun just to look at them. And I was collecting Starbucks mugs, but I no longer am doing that because why? It doesn't pay. Got our new fridge. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy about it. Fridge is called a InstaView, I think it's called. But you knock on it and the light's up. And then you can open this section just to get in the front door. But then when you close it, you can open the whole entire door and get inside the refrigerator. And you can also get things from here too if you need to. And this door opens from here as well. It does open from there. We love this fridge. And then the freezer. See, I've got a few meals down there that I need to eat up. And those ones, these ice creams, guys, are so good. I get these at Aldi, and they are the orange swirl ones. They're 5 points a piece, but oh my gosh, are they so good. So we've decided that this will be our guilty pleasure sometimes at night. Once this is gone, I'm going to be, I think Nick might have, I think Nick ate a majority of it now. So that's good. The freezer has a lot of space in it, and we're so happy with it. We had a rule. No eclipse on the couch. Don't you understand rules? Don't you understand rules, you cute little puppy? I'll finish a little story that I had about the washer and dryer. You guys knew the refrigerator went out like a year ago. So we finally got that replaced because we saved up enough money for it after we paid off all of our bills. So we're totally debt free right now. So then the first thing we did, of course, was save up for a fridge to pay in cash. So then we did that. We ordered the fridge. We got it delivered. I think that same day or maybe the day before, the dryer busted. So we had enough money in our savings to get a new dryer as well. So we did that. And then I'm serious, not 3 days later, the washer broke. More than it already was. It was going downhill and we could not It was so frustrating to get that door open and closed. It was just amazing. I mean, after maybe 15 minutes of working with it, we could get it to wash a load, but it was so frustrating. I just wanted to throw it out the window. So we got a new washer. And then not a few days later, all in the same month this happened, not a few days later, the AC broke. So we have no air conditioning right now. And it broke right before the heat wave that we had here, which was in the 90s all week here in Wisconsin, which was record breaking. I mean, we've never had that kind of heat in June here in Wisconsin that I can ever remember growing up even. And so that broke. And that's going to cost 16 or 6,000 to fix it or to get a new one. So we decided to get a couple of the AC units, like the window unit things, but we couldn't get a standard unit that fit in the window because our windows are sliding. So I'll show you in a second what we ended up going with, but they're working really great. Nick got one for his room, and then we got one for the living room. And if it gets real hot, we'll transfer it to our room. It's a movable unit. And right now, of course, we haven't had to use it the last couple days because it cooled off right after we got it. So, but it hooks in the window like that all the way up. We do have a sock in there because there's a little bit of a space in there that we couldn't get to go all the way up. It's working awesome. This is a 13,000 cooling, what do you call that? Nick's was a 600, so it wasn't, we got Nick's first and it wasn't doing the trick, and this living room was so hot still. So we got double that. And now this one works so good. So we had the money for an AC unit, but the thing is they couldn't install it for like 30 some days, and we could not live without AC for 30 some days. We just couldn't. So we just decided buy 2 smaller units, save up the rest of the money for the big AC unit, and just live with these this year. This is a winter, and this was rated very high in Consumer Reports, so I highly recommend this because it works really great. We have like a big area. It's all open up here, and it cools pretty much this whole area here. On the couch again? Really? You're not supposed to be on the couch. So somebody had asked me about trap cropping with this Blue Hubbard squash. It's really sunny out, so you're going to see some shadows. But the main reason we planted this was and we've got it quite a ways away from our garden. You don't have to have it away from your garden, but this is just the area that I wanted it to be in. And we're not fans of Blue Hubbard squash by any means, but this is the first time we're trying this out. This is supposed to convince all of the cucumber beetles to come over to this plant because they love Blue Hubbard squash more than anything, is what I've been told. It's like their chocolate bar, I guess. Another trap crop is a tomatillo. This one has really been working for us. Things love to eat this, mainly cucumber beetles and potato beetles. Potato beetles mainly will come to this because they love it so much. So we planted, and you need 2 tomatillos in order to have fruit from them. So we got 2, and we're hoping to get some. I've never had a tomatillo before, and I'm just planting them for a trap crop. I can't say that fast. So that's why we're doing that here, because otherwise those things are going to be eaten up, like things like my watermelon or my ground cherries, stuff like that. We've been pulling off all the cucumber beetles and potato beetles that we've been seeing and squishing them, and I haven't really seen a whole lot more. We've never been able to grow squash before, or cucumbers. And then another thing that we've been doing is planting loads and loads of basil. This huge basil plant, I just tucked in here underneath all of the things I didn't want the cucumber beetles to get because they hate the smell of basil. I just wanted to get the cucumbers a good head start before the cucumber beetles started munching on it. I got things planted all over in here to mask the smell of the cucumbers and the melons, like these basils here. I got basil everywhere. This is the first year we're trying this out, so I'm really curious. Last year we lost all of our cucumbers. They had stripes down them because the cucumber beetles were eating the skin of the cucumber. This year so far it's been really doing its job, planting all this basil around, because obviously our cucumbers are not getting eaten up this year. Last year they were so bad. The cucumbers just died off. It didn't even have this many leaves because the cucumber beetles were eating it faster than it could grow. So I wanted to show you real quick Somebody asked me what garlic scapes were. This is a garlic scape. It comes out of the center of your garlic stalk. So once you pull these off, once it's tall enough, like this one is ready to go right here. Once it starts curling like that and it's taller than the leaves itself, you want to pick this off and just break it off, and then your garlic bulb will start to grow. And then we eat like the top part and all of this part. Just chop it up into little cubes, throw it in your soups, whatever you want to throw it in. This is like a cross between a garlic, an onion, and some asparagus, I guess. Sunflowers are also a great trap crop. If you have aphids, aphids love sunflowers. So if you plant sunflowers all around, the aphids will prefer to go on this versus anything else. Well, that's it for the garden today. I don't want to go into too much garden stuff. I just love being out here in the garden, and I love talking about garden stuff. I'm gonna finish up my little bit of dishes there. I rinsed everything, clean a little bit around here, listen to my book on tape. This is the book that I'm listening to right now on Libby. It is so good, you guys. I haven't gotten halfway through yet, but so far from what I'm reading, it's really, really good. So I highly recommend it. And I highly recommend these Power Beats, because these Power Beats are amazing headphones. I love them. And they're great for taking calls too. When your phone rings, you can just click on the button here on the side, answer your phone call, and they can hear you really well, and I can hear them really well. It's after 1, and these are our leftovers from our cookout the other day. So I'm going to have 1 hamburger, and then I'm going to have a small kale salad. And this kale is from our garden. I'm going to cut some of that up, have just a small kale salad and a hamburger. Got my kale salad here, and I put some of these salad toppings on it. 1 point for a tablespoon. I just cut off this hard stem that was on the kale, and I sliced it up. And then for a dressing, Skinny Girl poppy seed, 0 points for that. Just put like a tablespoon, maybe a tablespoon and a half. And then this burger, I'm going to count as 7 because I'm not sure. And that's what it came up to in the app. The amount of fat that was in the burger was 7 points. So I'm going to count that as 7, 3 for the bun. So 10 points for lunch, 11 points for lunch because of the 1 point. So it's going to be the same as yesterday, but a much more filling, because this is going to be more filling. And of course the hamburger and bun is going to be way more filling than that little meatloaf that I ate. Got my app working. I am scanning this, and these come up as 4 points. So I'm going to count that as 4. So it'll be 12 points for lunch instead of 11. You can't have a burger without Wisconsin cheese. So I'm having a slice of cheese. This cheese slice is 4 points for 1. It is so thick, you guys, but it is good, and I'm going to have it. 16 points for my lunch now. It's getting up there. I normally never have burgers, but because we have this extra, we're just eating them up. It's turning out to be a pretty big lunch after all. 1 more point for a tablespoon of ketchup. Yeah. This is so different than store kale, you guys. It's so good. And my favorite type of kale is the winter kale. When you plant kale, like in the summer, I probably should be starting it soon, and it goes through to when the frost hits it. Oh my goodness, it gets so sweet. Same thing with carrots. As soon as that frost touches them, they sweeten up. So Corey and I shared that gigantic chicken breast that was left over from grilling. And then again, we have a small kale salad with that, because I really enjoyed my kale salad for lunch. So that is dinner tonight, and it is 2 smart points. We have that little worm right there. Ooh, he's being active. He's a swallowtail butterfly, and we missed him somehow. But you get these little black worms that kind of hang out up here after they eat enough.
The black worms are the white center.
White center, and then they turn into that. And then they make a cocoon after that?
Yep, they make a cocoon turn into a butterfly.
Yeah, so I guess we'll leave him.
He's not eating that much.
He's not eating that much, and our carrot's still fine. But we had like 75 of them on here at least. Had so many. And all of those would have killed off our carrots.
We had to relocate those.
We relocated them, yeah. We have a herb sign. Showed up in my herb bed. I'm guessing my mother-in-law brought that over. So cute. Thank you, mother-in-law, if you're watching. It looks really cute there.